Hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. I want to talk to you quickly today about mental health and well-being. It's something that we need to attend to daily, and that's even at the least challenging of times. And right now, certainly is not one of those. So if you're feeling worried or anxious, depressed or numb, fearful, angry, then you're human. There's no such thing as a normal way to feel ever, and particularly not at difficult times. One of the only things that we can be certain about right now, in fact, is that right now is a time full of uncertainty. But there's another thing that we can be certain about too, and that is that there are still so many things that we can do to support ourselves and others over this difficult but temporary period. And this is self-care. Self-care is always important, and even more so at times like now. What we can do for self-care can help us to balance or regulate our stress levels. It helps us to feel well, and it helps us to stay well. There are so many things that we can do for this. And what works for one person might not always work for another. So the key is to find out what works for you and practice it, and encourage and support others to do the same. So having said that though, we do have so many shared interests, people in general, and that's because to feel well and to stay well, we all need the same things. We all need to eat and sleep, exercise, relax and hydrate, but just as much as those things, we all need activity and learning and to create and to have fun. But last but not least, what we need is each other. We need connection, we need relationships in our lives in order to feel well. And right now, all of those things, so how we have our fun, how we do our activities and learning, how we connect with each other, well, it's all more challenging than normal for us. And as well as the completely natural fears that everyone has, and anxieties about the health of our loved ones and ourselves, about the security of incomes, about education, that is why a lot of people are having a tough time with mental health at the moment. Spending time with people, having fun the way that we used to having fun, learning and doing the activities the way that we normally do them, the way that we exercise, the way that we relax. A lot of the most important parts of how we live our lives at the moment have changed. So it's really important that we find ways to still meet our needs in different ways. And remember too, learning new things and creativity is also really good for mental health in itself. Another thing I wanted to mention is that a lot of people are talking about the importance of trying to live in the moment, be in the moment. And I think that's a really good way to be. But what does it mean though? Well, it's not to say that we shouldn't think about the future, that the worries that we're having are not natural, and it's not to say that it doesn't make sense to cast our minds back to easier times, nor is it about giving the message to only live for the moment. The point is, we can't control the past, nor can we control the future. And people, human beings, like we have a tendency to spend more time thinking about these times, the stuff we can't control, rather than focusing on the only thing that we do have any control over, and that's our actions right now. So practicing being able to focus on something that feels good for us in the moment is the key to feeling well. And remember, all of these moments, they add up. So think about what you can do right now that works for you, for your self-care. What could you do? Who could you connect with? Focus completely on that, and then notice how you feel. So take care of yourself, do what you can to support others to do the same, stay safe, and remember, if you don't feel well in any way, there's always help available. Give me a shout if I can be of any help, any questions, or for some tips. Love to you all, and take care.